Hello, everyone. It's Matthew Lehner here. I want to welcome you. There's Kipling. Say hi, Kipling. I'm doing a town hall. Doing a town hall. Say hi. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So, besides that, right now I will be doing a virtual town hall, as you all know, as what we've been getting out for the past 2 days now about this very unique opportunity. So, I want to thank you for all of those who are tuning in right now to this town hall. Looks like we've got one person so far. Let's get some more people. All right, I'm sure there'll be some more tuning in later. So this is the Matthew Lehner virtual town hall, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. It really means a lot to me. So I want to say that today is finally the last day of campaigning. So it is over, and the election will start Monday. The election is going to be Monday. So hopefully all goes right. My advisor said that excuse me, there was like one more speech to record. But other than that, okay, I getting a warning about connection. Let let me know, the one viewer, if there is bad connection. Can you let me know in the live stream comments if there is bad connection on your end? Can you let me know? Jacobo Benzerato, can you let me know if there's bad connection? Okay. All right. I'm just gonna keep going. I think they reconnected me. All right. Yeah, it could be. I'm in my right now. You're getting a little lag. Okay. Um. Then. Okay. I'm just gonna move on. All right. So yeah. Again, the election is Monday, and very important that you guys get out to vote. 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 Please. It really shows that you are participating. All right, so now onto the town hall portion of this video. Before I get that stuff out of the way, so basically, I just want to go over a couple of my key campaign principles. If you guys do not know what my campaign is about, or what I'm trying to push across, and some things that I'm trying out. So, as you all maybe know, if you don't know, and here it is. My platform is centered around 4 points, which I call the 4 points to greatness. So, number one, we need a prom for all of us. Number two, we need more communication from those in charge. Number three, we need more personal direct advisement outreach. And number four, we need a. Sorry, I'm blanking. It's been a long week. Number four. Shoot. I forgot my campaign points. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just gonna talk about kind of my key points here. So my first point, problem for all of us. We need a problem for all of us, right, guys? As I've been stressing for the very beginning of this campaign, we need a problem that is centered around you guys, and that's why I pledge to form a committee open to all students, regardless of whether you're on student council or not, regardless of what you are, what kind of student you are, A student, B student, C student, doesn't matter. You can join my prom committee, and we will plan every single aspect of prom, from the menu to the tickets, everything. Everything will be planned in this committee. So that's my pledge to you, and that's a plan that I've got. We'll meet several times. Will be formed in the first few months of school next year, in the 2019-2020 school year, which is coming up very fast, believe it or not. So that'll be formed then. And I said from the beginning, it's important. You guys deserve to have a prom planned by you. You guys deserve to know, what's going on your night. You guys deserve to know what your class officers are doing. So that's what I've stressed from the very beginning, and that's what I intend to do as your class president, is to create that. So, and then my second point I'll get onto is we need more communication from those who are in charge. It's that simple. Whether you like it or not, whether you support my opponent or not, the facts are clear. The communication has been lacking. There's been zero communication. I've talked to people. They said that our current class officers have come to the advisement, their advisement once. Okay. I mean, this is unacceptable. I'm sorry. It just is. You guys deserve better. The class deserves better. The class deserves openness. The class deserves transparency. I don't care whether we are in a bad financial state or not. I don't care. If we're in a bad financial state, good financial state, you guys deserve to know what goes on. You guys deserve to see financial records. You guys deserve to know what kind of fundraisers are going on. I mean, even if we do fundraisers and not everybody knows about it, and we still make enough money. I mean, for God's sake, let's go. This is so simple, and this is what kind of boggles my mind just a little bit. Is why don't we just go around to the advisements and let people know what's going on? It doesn't take more than 5 minutes. Just let people know what's going on and what they can do to help. I mean, it's that simple. So, excuse me. So that is what I'm trying to do. Is I am trying to restore that principle. I'm trying, and as class president, as you all know, I frequent the advisements. I made sure you guys know about what was going on and what kind of fundraisers were going on and what you can do to help. And that's what I intend to do if I get elected again. It's just that simple. We need more communication from those in charge, and we need more accountability on student council. That's a big reason why I'm running. So my third point is that we need, and I kind of talked about this in my other point, but we need more personal direct advisement outreach. Again, this is so simple to do. This is incredibly simple to do. All you need, folks, is to go around to advisements, and whoever's vice president will help me out. We'll go around to the advisements and we'll let you know about what is going on. I mean, it's that simple. And I don't know how to make it simpler. Just to promote fundraisers, to promote activities, to let you know what's going on. That's what's going to happen. Is we're going to have more direct personal advisement outreach. Period. You guys deserve transparency and openness from your class officers. And I've stressed this from the very beginning. And if you look at my record, if you want to get into that, if somebody would argue that, I haven't been as transparent as maybe you want it to be, I feel like I've been transparent. Okay, sorry. There are a couple people in the comments that are wanting. Okay. All right. Hi, Sam. I love you. Crabbington. Hi, Crabbington. Thank you for joining our town hall. And then my apologies. Jacobo, Bendrado. So thank you for joining us as well, and thank you for letting me know that you're getting a little lag. So thank you all those for joining us. And hi, Vagon. Hello, Matthew Lehner. Hello, Vagon. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's Ethan C. Crabbington is my camp. Crabbington is my campaign manager. If you don't know, in the comments. Hi, Ethan. Thank you for joining us. Okay. So hi everybody in the comments. We'll get to that in a second. I'll get to the questions. I'm just gonna go over my key points again. All right. So yeah, like I said, look at my record. My record has shown that I've been an open leader. I let you know about what's going on in my life. I'll let you know if I can't make something. I'll let you know if there's something that's not going on. So that's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to restore that principle. You guys deserve better. You guys really deserve better. I deeply care about every single one of you. I'm running for class president because I want to make sure that every single one of you gets what you want out of your high school experience. For God's sake, we spend 1/3 of our 24-hour day in high school. Now, wouldn't people want to make it better? And that's what I'm striving to do, is to just make it better and to improve it. And that's what I stressed from the very beginning. Okay, so then on to my fourth point. Let's see, personal direct advisement outreach, more communication in the downtown, a prom for all. I apologize, guys. I'm blanking out right now. 1 second. 1 second. I apologize. There we go. I'm just trying to, collect my thoughts here. It's been, as I'm sure you all know, it's been a long it's been a long, stressful week for me. I've been doing my best to keep up with school and everything, and but just trying to get that done. So, uh, yeah, there we go. And it's really embarrassing when you are holding a town hall and you're talking about your four main principles that you're running on, and you have a mind fart and forget the other one. Oh yeah, I'm jogging my memory. Okay, all right, sorry about that. I just want to check my other points. So, uh, the fourth point that I'm running on is we need better representation on student council. And I think most of you maybe really haven't been to a student council meeting, maybe don't know what goes on in student council meetings. But what goes on in student council meetings is that class officers, at the beginning of the meeting, they give a report. They basically let the president, the vice president, and everybody on student council, uh, you know, what's going on. They let them know what's going on, what we're doing as a class. And I have to say, there has been an era this year of very extremely vague class reports. There has been zero dialogue about the issues of what's going on at our high school, uh, and there has been and there's very little involvement on student council. It's that simple, from our current class officers and from everybody. And there's no accountability. There's no system of accountability on student council this year, guys. We had a system in place to make sure that those who are on student council, were putting in the work. That fell through the cracks. That's not right. That's not helping you guys out. That's not representing you in the best way possible. So I think that's why I am running, is because we need better representation at student council. The era of vague class reports, zero dialogue about the issues, zero talk about what's going on is over, and will be over when I am president. It's gone, done, zero. That era is behind us. We are putting on a brand new era. There'll be more communication. There will be a very detailed class report. Every single time that I go to a student council meeting, I will give the report. I'll let everybody know about what our financial state is. I'll let everybody know how our committee is doing. Everybody know what we are doing. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to be improved, and I believe that that is the best way possible. And then, not to mention what I've been doing these past few months is, what I'm putting forward is, I think I'm kind of leading the discussion, um, with uh, sorry, I'm just had a comment. David Sipple says you should deal with Mrs. Lisherson. I will get to that in a second. Um, so I will get to like things that are beyond my power and that sort of thing in a second. But I'm just gonna finish this point and then we'll go on. Okay. Sorry, somebody in the comments said dab, so I dab for them. Okay, so got that out of the way. All right, moving on now. All right, so yeah, like I said, I'm putting forward a system of accountability for our class officers, and I'm putting forward a system for accountability for everybody on student council, so that the leaders that we've put in charge of us, the leaders that we elect, actually get the job done and don't get to stay on student council and put it on their college application. Folks, that's fraud. That's fraud right there. Is if you're in a club and don't do anything and say, oh, well, I was in student council, and put that on the college application. That's fraud, folks. That's fraud. I'm working to change that right now. I'm leading the discussion on accountability in student council. And we're going to discuss this. We're going to try to get a plan forward, and it's going to better serve all of us, and it's going to better serve you guys. And so, since my good friend David Sipple there brought up a point about a teacher, I want to get into something that is kind of beyond my power, but what I'll do is I'll continue to fight for it. So, a lot of people have asked me, well, what do you do as president, Matthew? And I say, okay, well, I can, do fundraising, and I go through that kind of process. But here's the thing. I cannot change like school policies. That's not in my power. I can't physically go into the school manual book and say, oh, the dress code is, is crap. I can't say that, and I can't get rid of the dress code. What I can do though is what I pledge to do as class president is if I feel that there is a need and there is a greater that there's something there, if somebody's got problem with a teacher, if somebody has problems with a staff member, administration, what I'll do is if you have a problem, I will go with you. I will go with you when you go to administration where you complain about something. And I'll advocate for you. I'll advocate for your everyday concerns beyond the things that are going into class of 2021. I will be your advocate. Advocacy is a major part of leadership that is lacking right now. And another reason why I'm fighting to restore that is we need advocacy in our leaders. Uh, so yeah, and as my good friend, David Sipple is saying, things like that. One of the things that I'll do as class president is I will send out a survey in the first few months, and that's what I've on my website in the pledge that I've done is once I get elected, I'll send out a survey, and in that survey option, there will be a box where you can write in any additional concerns beyond my power that you want me to try to fix or try to advocate for you in front of the administration. Because I'll go with you, and that's a big part of being a class officer is representing you. And if there is a serious concern about like a teacher or a staff member or something that's going on, I'll advocate for you guys. I'll be there for you. I'll get there. I'll be in your office for administration, and I'll stand by you every step of the way to make sure that you get what you want out of your high school experience. And that's what I intend to do. And whether that changes or not doesn't really matter, because what it shows you folks is that, hey, I am being a person who advocates for all. I'm being a person that at least we tried. At least we tried to change, or we misunderstood. But that's okay. As long as we try, as long as we get, that done, as long as we go in front of our officers, that's all that matters, folks. It really does. Okay. So I think enough talk about that. Now, during this point in the process, and those who are joining us via live stream and in the comments there, at any point during the town hall meeting, you have a question that pops in your head about my policies, about something that's going on, please feel free to go into the live stream comments section and write your question in. I will be sure to answer it during this period. I didn't have very many questions that signed up on the town hall sheet, but I do have a few that I will get to, and I think that should be explained. Now, if you'd excuse me for one moment, I have to blow my nose. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I just had to clear my sinuses. Be glad you don't have allergies. Okay. All right. Everett Ratschow is saying, I want a button. Well, I apologize, Everett. That as I told you, you have to be a class of 2021 member to receive a button. But if you find that there is a sophomore with one of my old buttons or one of my new buttons that doesn't want it, you can ask for it. I'd be happy with that. And Everett, let me check. I may have an extra old button, but let me just double check that before I give you it. Okay. I think I have no. I think I have an old button that I can give you, if that's all right with you. Okay, Everett? I'll wait for his response. He wants a button. He's a junior. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Everett. So I will look for one if I'm sure I have one. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Now we're on the town hall portion of it. All right. So like I said, guys, if you have any questions that pop in your head, please feel free to go ask that in the comment section. So I'm going to pull up my first question here. Okay. Now, here we are. All right. So Jesse Knutson asks, what is your game plan for winning the popularity of the sophomore class. Okay, so, okay, and then thank you, Vagon. I will get to your question in a second. Let me answer Jesse's first. So, thank you for that question, Vagon. I will answer it in just a second. Okay, so how do we gain popularity, right? How do we gain a face that is going to, make sure that everybody, I don't know how to put this, but like, make sure that everybody has a say and then make sure that we have a good image as class officers. So, and I think my campaign is about that. And I don't think, Jesse, it's not necessarily popularity. It's just about having a good image. It's about, having good relations with everybody. It's about, and I think I think my platform is about that. Having a prompt for all of us shows that I care about what everybody else is thinking besides myself. And then in a point of transparency, in which I pledge to be transparent, releasing financial statements, releasing student council minutes, releasing class reports, all that sort of thing improves relations. Relations is a huge part of being a leader. A massive, massive part is having relations with those you serve. If you have negative relations with those you serve, the likelihood is that you might be gone. And there might be a will for you to get out. There might be a movement for you to get out of your leadership position, which is what we don't want. Absolutely not. It's not what we want. Um, so that's what my platform is about having good relations with everybody, about including everybody in the process, about including everybody. And that's, and if you want to call it popularity, sure, that's great. But I'm going to call it good relations. I'm going to call it good relations with the class of 2021. And I believe that if you look at my platform, whether it's my 4 points of greatness, a prom for all, more direct advisement communication, more communication from those in charge, and better representation as student council, all of those principles represent good relations, represent good popularity among officers, and we'll restore that. So I think that's the answer to your question, Jesse. Thank you for that question. Very good. Okay, so now on to Vagon's question. He asks, what do you think about our current class officers, problems, things they can improve upon? Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. I am going to I'm just gonna go and I'm sorry. I'm just looking at Crabbington's comments here. Donald Trump was afraid to release his tax returns, but Matt is ready to spill the mother effing tea on everyone and everything at student council. Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate that support and that comment. But on to Vagon's question. I like this quote, and it's from a really inspirational person to me and to a lot of people across the world, from Michelle Obama, which says that when they go low, you go high. And in my leadership activities, I've tried to follow that. I think that's important. And here's what I'll say. I'm going to compliment our current class officers. I think they really, truly care about making sure that everybody, has improvements. And I really, truly think that they have passion for what they do, that they lead, they try what they do, and that they lead effectively, and that you know they are truly good people. And that's what I believe, is that they're good people who have good intentions. But here's why I say some of the problems that I've seen this year. So the problems, and this is what I base around my platform, is fixing the problems that are at hand. I've seen very little communication. I've seen barely any advisement outreach, which we prided on ourselves when I was class president, is direct advisement outreach, and that's not happened this year. So the biggest problem, I think, is communication. Second biggest problem I see is that there's very little, representation, very fruitful representation on student council. Now, if you look at my record and if you look at what I've been to this year, I for some of you know, I ran for a position at the state student council regional level, which covers about 6 counties in the metropolitan Milwaukee area. I think that shows dedication. I think that shows good representation. Now, I feel like they didn't go to as many events as I did, and I feel like they were not there as much, as they should have been. So the things that I'm improving upon is communication. We're going to communicate better when I'm president. Like I said, we're going to have openness and transparency. You guys are going to know everything that is going on. We'll have a prom for all of us. And I think that's what also distinguishes me um, from the current class officers is that I actually have a plan for prom. I have a plan to execute effectively for prom to make sure that we get the job done. Is to create an open committee open to all students, regardless of who they are, and that sort of thing. So that's what I intend to do, and I think there's a lot of improvements that could be made. They have been decent people. They have been decent people. They have respected the class of 2021. But I feel like the class deserves better, and I feel like there are lots of improvements that can be made upon, and that's why I'm running. Look, if everything was fine and dandy, if everything was good, if we had this and this and that, I would not be running. I would say let them do another year. Let them try again. Let them keep continuing the leadership that has been at hand. But I'm running because I just see that there's a lack of that. And I see there is so much more. There's so much more that we could be doing that is so easy. Um, and that's why I'm running for the simple reason. I respect our class officers. I'll continue to respect them. I'll continue to work with them if I'm president. I'll continue to make sure that their input is at the table and that they have a seat at the table. But I'm just simply running because I think that this class deserves better, and I feel like there's a lot of improvements that we can be made. So, Gone, that is your answer to your question. I thank you for that question. And okay, so all right, so to Everett, this is a town hall about class issues, not national issues. If there's a will and there's a way, I will host a town hall about my thoughts on political things. But um, so just to let you know about that. So Everett, I will answer some of your questions about gun control, marijuana, that sort of thing, at a later date, and we can maybe have a town hall about political issues later in the future. But Everett, out of the respect for people who signed up to join us, this town hall is going to be about class issues. So I thank you. I thank you for those questions. I appreciate your passion for that. But this town hall is about class issues. Okay, so thank you, Everett. And then next question. This one is from Anonymous One. His question is, how do you plan on streamlining communication through our class, contacting you, sharing ideas, etc.? Well, Anonymous One on my sheet, excellent question. How do you plan on streamlining and communicating to the class? All right. So I believe that my platform is about openness and communication and how to get that accomplished. So some things that are on my minds, and not my minds, excuse me. Um, so some things that are on my platform, and if you scroll down, if you're on my website, if you happen to be on my website or want to go on my website before campaigning period is over, uh, you'll see other principles and ideas. So, your Anonymous One, the answer to your question is that to communicate ideas, what I'll do is number one, I think the biggest thing is personal direct advisement outreach. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that we're going to do if I'm president. It's so easy. Monday, Wednesday, when you guys are in your home advisements, it doesn't take 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to go to your advisement and let you know about what's going on. So that's a big thing. And one of the things that I am thinking about doing too is that in those home advisements, what I'm thinking about doing is putting up a poster on like the front whiteboard or something that has the names of the class officers, vice president, and president, and then also lists how you can contact us. So one of the things that I'll do is I'll let you know how to contact me. I'll give you my email that you can send me at any time. And I'm very good about I pride myself on being very good about reading emails and making sure I'm staying up to date with that. So I'll answer emails frequently. I'll get back to you right away. I always get back to people right away with a response. So I'll let you know about the things that are going on. And so, okay, let me just get to the other point of your question here. So yeah, I think the biggest thing to get that accomplished, the easiest thing to get that accomplished, frankly, is through personal advisement outreach, and that's what we'll do once again when I'm class president is personal advisement outreach. So simple. Excuse me, let me get some water. Uh, yeah, so biggest thing, super easy, takes 2 minutes, go around to every single viceman, including your vice president, to let you know about what's going on and what you can do to participate. And then I also explore the possibility of, well, first, what we need to do is, maybe create a student council website. So simple Google site where you can access information, reports, that sort of thing. And then you can also access a student council page with all the minutes and things like that. So I'll fight for that, and I'll continue to make sure that that's part of my platform, which it is. And I'll also explore the possibility of doing a class for mine, um, which is I think it's a big I think that could be a really nice thing to have for the class. So things that you can what's the word here? So you can get instant updates about what's going on. So I think if you look at my platform and if you go on my website, um, https advisement outreach, uh, explore the possibility of a remind or website are all ways we can communicate and have openness and transparency to get that thing done. So anonymous one, that's your answer to your question. So and it's a very good question and important question. Okay, so not on to anonymous number two's question. His question states, "What are your future plans for future years in school politics, regardless if you win or not?" Okay, so um, okay, and then I just got another question here. JP Prod, I will answer. Okay, so Jacob Pfeiffer. Okay, so I will answer Jacob Pfeiffer. I will get your question in just a second. Okay, and then I'm just going to answer anonymous two's question about my future plans. So I've always pledged, and if you think about last year's election, in May, as you all know, I lost a very, very close election to my opponent Arushi last year. And what I always pledge is that regardless of whether I lose or win or not this election, I will always continue to fight for you, even if I'm not president or not. I'll always be a voice on student council. I'll never stop. I'll never give up. And the fight to make sure that you have a seat at the table. And regardless of whether I win or not, it is always going to be certain, and it is always my pledge to you that I will continue to fight, and I'll continue to make note of our concerns. I will continue to make note of things that we need to improve upon. Excuse me, and I will continue to make light of what's going on, and I'll continue to advocate for you if the current class officers, if I do not get elected, are not doing that. So that's the biggest thing. Is I'll continue to fight for you, and I'll continue to make sure that you have a seat at the table, and I'll continue to participate. I won't give up. I won't stop just because I lost an election. Uh, but that's it. And I also should mention too that I think it's important to note for all of you that this is um, going to be the last time I'm running for class president. I believe that this class needs new leadership for our senior year, besides Arushi and me. So that's what I'll do. And this is going to be the last year I'm running for class president. Uh, but that's what's going to happen. And maybe I'm considering maybe running for senior vice president, but that's a long ways down the road. I have lots of other interests I'd like to pursue, lots of other things I like to get started. But just to let you know, this is going to be my last go around as class president. Uh, but we'll see what happens from there. So always know, anonymous number two, that I will continue to fight for you on student council. That's the answer to your question. Thank you very much. Okay, so on to Jacob Pfeiffer's question. So he says, I'm wondering how you fundraise and get participation and fundraising to lower the costs for our events. Excellent question, Jacob Pfeiffer. Thank you for that. So, a lot of good ways to do this. So now our current class officers claim, and this is probably true. I don't think they're lying to us, but I think this is true. And I know this is true, that we are in a good financial state for prom, that we have enough money for prom, which is good. But I want to go beyond that because I believe that we should go beyond having a reasonable ticket price of like $50. If there's enough money, by God, we should go beyond that and continue to fundraise. I mean, guys, this is so simple. Let's continue to fundraise. Let's continue doing the work. If we have enough money for prom, great. Let's go forward if we have the time. Let's make the most of our time and fundraise. And that's part of my plan too, is that for fundraising, I'll continue to fundraise regardless of our financial state in prom, which I believe is an important part of our campaign. Uh, and I think to your point of getting participation, uh, I think this is very important too, is participation. I think there's been a lack of participation this year. Hello, Ashley Kenworthy. I will get to your question after I'm done answering Jacob Pfeiffer's. But thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay, so on the participation point, participation is important for everything. And one of the ways I think that we can get more participation in events is, number one, letting you know about what's going on through communication. And number two, to make sure that everyone has a seat at the table and can participate actively on student council and knows how to participate. That's what I plan to do, is communicating more to get more participation in fundraisers and events. We let you know ahead of time, months ahead of your time, because we know that you guys are very busy with your schedules and everything. If we let you know, months ahead of time in advance, you guys will be more likely to attend and more likely to participate. That's one of the ways that we'll get that done. And also making sure that everybody has a seat at the table. Guys, the more likely you are to participate is if you have a seat at the table and you know how to have a seat at the table. That's important. And that's what I intend to do. To fight to make sure that everyone has a seat at the table on student council and knows how to participate. And just knowing how to participate is a big thing. How do I fundraise? How do I, go to do this? How do I join a student council meeting? How do I, have my input? That's important. So I think we need to make those distinctions. I believe that my platform, to your question, Jacob Pfeiffer, has a clear layout of what I'm going to do to increase participation and lower the costs for our events. And that's what I'll tend to do. I'll keep going to make sure that our costs are lower, and I will continue to fight to make sure that everybody is participating. Jacob Pfeiffer, thank you for your question. Now, Ashley Kenworthy, thank you for joining us. And your question is, what are you doing for prom? Okay, so prom is a big part of my platform, as you know, Ashley. It's the first point on my list. First priority. One of the things that I will do for prom is I will form a student committee open to every single student, regardless of whether you're on student council or not, that will plan every aspect of prom. The music, the DJ, the location, the menu, the ins and outs, everything that you can imagine about prom, and we'll meet frequently. It shouldn't be me. It shouldn't be your vice president. It shouldn't be the student council advisor that gets to decide what happens at prom. It should be you. And I've stressed that from the beginning. It should be you who decides what goes on at prom and what you could do to participate. And like I said, I think that through my formation of a open to all students mentality committee, it'll plan every aspect of prom, we can get that done. So with the money that we have, what we'll do is, and like I said, to Jacob Pfeiffer's point of continuing to fundraise, what we'll do is and to answer your question, we'll get a student-led committee that will plan every aspect of prom. And I encourage you, Ashley, to join that committee, as well as everybody who is a class of 2021 member on here, to join that committee when it comes about. So that's what I'm doing for prom, and that's what I intend to do. And those details will come out in the future about what I'm going to be doing for prom and that sort of thing. So thank you for your question, Ashley. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to go in the live stream chat and to answer those questions. And so for those who are just joining us, I want to thank you for joining my town hall. And thank you for joining us. Really shows that you're participating. And I want to thank you for your questions and your insight. So thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to anonymous number 3's question. No. Anonymous number 4's. Okay, so it says, what do you think about your competitor's campaign? I feel like I'm getting a lot of questions about this recently about my competitor. It's her campaign. I'll let her do what she wants with her campaign. That's okay. Totally fine. I'm fine with whatever she does. But just known that, what I think of my competitor's campaign is that I honestly, I really don't have opinion on it. You know, I've been focusing on my campaign. I've been focusing on fighting for the people of this class. And that's what my campaign is about. I haven't been focusing on my campaign, not what my competitor is doing. You know, that's political crap that people play. And what too many people play. And I am proud to say, and I'm proud to say to all of you that I don't play in that stuff. I play with my own campaign. I focus on my own principles and I focus on my own doctrine. She can do whatever she wants with her campaign, whatever she proposes is fine. But I will say this. I believe that my campaign is a common sense campaign that includes everyone in the conversation to make sure that everyone has a seat at the table. And I believe that I have a plan to do that. So thank you for that question, Anonymous3. And Anonymous3, if you're watching today, if you have any more questions about this or have any more details, please feel free to contact me at any time. Okay. Jacob Hubert asks, how do you feel about some people not taking your campaign seriously? Okay. Well, Jacob, the answer to your question is I believe there's always going to be people that are not going to take the campaign seriously, that are not going to really understand what's going on. And how do we deal with those people, right? I think this is a huge question about leadership is how do we actually deal with these people? Well, I think there's several ways to deal with them. I think that what you could do is you can try to keep as outreaching as much as you want. And you can try to pull them to your side and let them know about what's going on in our campaign and what we're fighting for. I believe that, the people who don't take my campaign seriously, they may not be taking it seriously because they may not have any faith or may not have any understanding or may not know or may not or may feel left out about this during this process, maybe feel left out by those currently in charge. So I think that, uh, regardless if I win or not, if we show that we are doing good, if we are show that we are fulfilling our promises, we show that we are fulfilling what is going on, I think that we'll get those people to the table and I think we'll get those people to break. Now, those who don't care about my campaign, I will say this. Regardless of whether you care or not, I care about you. I care about you regardless of whether you care about my campaign or not. I think about you every night. I think about this class when I go to bed. I think about it every single day and what I can do to fight for you and what I can do to make sure that you go to sleep at night and that you come to school every single morning knowing that I have the best leadership, those in charge, and I have the best possible experience at my high school. And that's what I'll continue to do. So thank you for that question, anonymous number 4. Okay, so Zay and Zay and Explicify, thank you for those comments. Explicify, I'm sorry. Exilify, my apologies, Exilify. Thank you for those comments. Lehner for Press 2048. Yeah, we can talk about that later. Okay, Benjamin Hirschlip, thank you for that question. So a lot of people are. So this is his question. A lot of people are curious on prom and their vote is on Arushi, thinking you will do something crappy for prom. Thoughts and ideas. Okay, and I realize this concern. A lot of people think that I'm kind of a nerdy person, and I'm okay to say that. I'm very nerdy about leadership and doing that. What I will tell you is that for prom, is that I believe in the only candidate with a plan, a published plan about what to do. And I've made this pledge from the beginning, and I've said this from the beginning when I launched this campaign back, and I should say back in April, but when I relaunched this campaign this week, is that I'll form a committee open to all students that will plan every single aspect of prom. That's my pledge to you. And if you feel like there's going to be crappy ideas, if you feel like, there's not going to be good ideas from our leadership end, join our committee. Join our committee, join the open prom committee, and have your ideas and input. And I understand that question. You know, I don't have any desire, zero desire to plan prom around my liking. Zero desire at all. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to plan it around your liking. I'm here to include you in the process. That's what I'm here for. And if people feel like, I got crappy ideas or thoughts for prom, well, maybe you're right. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to you for ideas what to do for prom and how to plan in the music, DJ, food, etc. So that's what I'll tell people. That's what I say to people is that I have a plan. I have the pledge of openness about prom that you guys will plan it, not me. And that's what I think that's what distinguishes me is that for prom. So okay, so and then Ashley, Ken, what do you think for that question? So how do you join the committee? So for this process, and then I'll get to Ashley, I'll get to your question in just a second. Your other question in just a second. So how do you join the committee? So one of the things I'll do is in the first few months we'll form this committee. I don't think we need to form it right away. All we need to do is we just need to form it. So what I'll do is I'll create a sign up, simple Google form. What you'll have to do is fill it out, your name and your email. You'll get frequently about, and we maybe add you to a reminder or something or another form of communication. But what we'll do is we'll add that and we will go forward from there. It's just a simple sign up. We'll let you know when we're meeting. We'll probably meet in like Mrs. Drager's room or outside or whatever. So it's pretty simple. I'll send out that form. We'll go around to every single advisement, letting you know how to join that specific committee, and it's that simple. And then Ashley Kenworthy, to your other question about how much money we have, I don't have an exact answer on that. Our class officers have not disclosed how much money we exactly have, and you might want to contact them directly about how much money we have. And this is what I'll say. Regardless of how much money we have, I don't really think that matters. I really don't think that matters in this instance, in this campaign. What it matters is how we're using our money, our plan to use the money, and excuse me, let me get some water. So that really, I think, is important to distinguish. It's not about the money. It's about how we use the money and how we get you involved. Hi, James Waldenberger. So thank you for joining us, James Waldenberger. So, yeah, so that's what I believe too is, you guys deserve to know how much money we have, and that's what I'll do. So, okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, Exlify. Money don't mean anything. It's all about having smart people who know how to use it. Bingo, bingo, bingo. That is exactly correct. You hit it on the nail, Exlify. It's true. Money is not everything. It's how we use the money. And what I continue to do is, regardless of what our financial status, I will continue to fundraise. Okay, so Ashley Cameron is saying, what if I want fun stuff at prom? Exactly. Well, join our committee. It's that simple. We all want fun. We all want a fun prom. I want a fun prom to go to. I want a fun experience. This is a defining moment of our lives. We will remember this day forever. We will remember who we were with, the music that was played, the location, and who is around us. This is a defining moment. And we need a leader who is going to make sure that everyone is included in the process of planning your special night. We need leadership centered around openness, and we need leadership centered around everyone. So the fun stuff, it's up to you. The fun stuff, we're going to have that. And I believe that through communicating and having that open for everybody, that's how we'll get that done. And we all want fun stuff at prom. We all want a fun prom. I want a fun prom. I want to see you guys have fun, and I want to see this night pulled off as well. So, and to those, I mean, I'm going to get onto the other questions that, for the people who signed up, and I've got like about 10 minutes left or so of this town hall. But like I said, I encourage you guys, if you guys have any questions, any more specific ideas, any other things that you want to see for prom, I encourage you to email me. My email is lehnmat@hamiltonstudents.org. If you type that up, if you type up Matthew Lehner from your school email, um, you know, you guys will get you guys can send me an email. I'll respond to you right away. I promise. If you guys have any other ideas about that, okay. Dale Kuzka says IDE fun prom, even though I'm not gonna go to it. Hey, and hey, your choice to go to it or not. It's about openness. It's about a choice. So I think that's important to see. So I'm gonna move on from prom. I appreciate all your concern about prom, and this is a big reason, and why I think you should vote for me, and a big reason why you should consider my campaign is because I have a plan to what to do. So I thank you for those questions on prom. Like I said, if you have any other questions about prom, please feel free to contact me. I will promise I will get back to you. You can send me a text message. My number is 262-239-5221. Send me a text message if you have any questions about that. So I encourage you to do that. Reach out, please. And ask the others about what they're doing. Ask others about what their plan is. So thank you for that. Thank you for those questions about prom. I really appreciate it. Okay. Anonymous number, what is it, 5? Yes, anonymous number 5 asks, what are your thoughts on Arushi? Now, I think I've said this, throughout this town hall and throughout this campaign. I greatly respect Arushi. She has great passion for what she does, and she respects all, regardless of that. So those are my basic thoughts on Arushi. She's a good person. She cares about people, and yeah. But it shouldn't be about that and our thoughts on the opponent. It should be about what work they've done and what they've brought to the table. And that's why I'm running. So I think that's an important distinguishment of questions. So thank you for that question. Those are my thoughts on Arushi. So thank you. Okay. So that is all the questions that were signed up. So those of you who are joining us on live stream again, okay, so Dale has something. I feel like everyone who's going to vote for the most popular, to be honest. Okay, well, it's probably true. And excuse me. Well, regardless of who's popular or not, I think the popularity derives from what their platform is, and I think what they're going to do. That's what the popularity derives from. If the person's not popular, it's probably because they haven't, done the work. And okay, so I Cravington, I will get to your question in a second. Okay, Ethan C. Sorry, I keep calling you Cravington. Okay, so honestly, it shouldn't be about a popularity contest, but it is. And I've tried to distinguish myself from the popularity thing. I never like to say I'm popular, but I think the facts are kind of out there that, I'm a popular individual in this class who has distinguished himself from the popularity contest and has actually put forth real ideas, which is what you should distinguish on the ballot box. You should ask yourselves a series of questions before you make any decision in life, especially voting. When you see those names in the ballot box, make sure to ask, what are the ideas that they have? And if they're incumbent, what have they done to help me? What have they done to better my high school experience? What are their plans? Are these people accessible? Can I relate to these people? Can I communicate to these people? Those are the questions you should be asking. And I think the reason why maybe candidates are popular or not, I mean, in my instance, because I think I've put forth real ideas and I've distinguished myself as a person who cares and a person who wants to get the job done. So I think that's the answer to some of your comments about popularity. Okay, so Ethan C asks about sorry, I'm getting notifications on my computer. Okay, all right. Do you endorse any candidates for vice president? Okay, so we have 3 candidates running for vice president. We have Ryan Rubik, Rashmi Bajegapu, and we have Manny Martinez. So this is what I'm going to say about the vice president. My preferences are Ryan Rubik and Rashmi Majigapu. I'm excluding Maddie Martinez from the list, not because she's a bad person, not because she's you know a a bad individual. It's just because they really haven't been contributing to the process as much as I would like them to, and because they haven't gotten as much work done as the class would want them to. I've worked with Rashmi. She is an incredible worker. She's an incredible leader, and she does a really good job in what she does. And Ryan Rubik, I've known him for years. I know he's a good leader. He gets up every day and cares about everybody. So those are the candidates I would encourage you to vote for. I specifically endorse. You know, I and this is what I say in the vice president thing. This is what you should take away from this. You know, one of the things I think I'm good at as a leader is I feel like I can work with everybody, regardless of who gets elected or not. If Maddie gets elected and I get elected, by God, I'll be the first one to reach out to her and say, "What do you have in mind? What can you plan?" And if Rashmi gets elected, I'll do the same thing. And if Ryan gets the same, gets elected, I'll do the same thing. I'll work with anybody who gets elected to get the job done. Period. But I preferably would want Ryan or Rashmi Majigapu to become vice president. My top choice is Ryan. My second choice is Rashmi, and then they're still on. Okay. Ashley Hantley says, "Okay, no, I would not leave office if Maddie won. That's no, absolutely not. And as I stated before, I'll work with anybody. I'll work with whoever's vice president to get the job done. That's what you deserve. I think I could build good working relations with anybody who gets into that office and have a good relationship. But again, it's up to that individual whether they want to have a good relationship with me. So would it be a little more difficult to have somebody who I did not work with previously before? Of course, it would be a little more difficult and it'd be a little bit of a hurdle. But that's okay. I've done this before. I've worked with people that I've never worked with before and maybe not necessarily got along with as much as the other candidates. I'll get over that hurdle and I'll just get the job done for you. That's what matters. And I'll be the first person to say, what do you want to do? What do you want to see? And how can you work with me? And what can we work on? So that's what I intend to do. So, does anybody else have any questions, any comments, concerns, anything else? Okay. Why don't you get along? Wait. Okay. Okay, so why don't you get along? Spill the tea. Well, I'll get back to you if you can maybe make your comment more specific. I like I said, I'll get along with anybody that gets elected. Okay, so Ethan C asked, so that's just more about the candidates that you see having the best record, accomplishing goals. Yeah, exactly. It's about their record. It's about what they've shown, and what they have demonstrated to do. Rashmi has demonstrated and has shown when I was class president that she was an extremely good helper and that she worked well and that she worked to achieve greatness for this class and deeply cared about this class. And Ryan has also shown that he has cared and that he, goes to these, student council events and promotes things and does things for this class, which is important. And, look, last year was an extremely close election and there were problems with the election. But Maddie Maddie won. Okay. She won fair and square. That's a deal. Um but you know, just know that when you're voting for vice president, it shouldn't be up to me. Don't go with my choice. Go with who has the best record and ask your vice president questions because it's extremely important to ask your vice president questions because they're the ones that are going to be helping you out this year. So, like I said, Ashley Kenworthy, Dale, all those in the chat, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this town hall. Really means a lot to me that you took time out of your busy Russia interfered in our student elections last year. Well, that's certainly up for debate, but I love that. Okay. All right. So thank you for joining my town hall today. Really appreciate it. Again, the elections are Monday. Uh, so I would encourage you to please take a look at our campaign. Please take a look at what I stand for. Uh, and and all those who are in the chat who express concerns, comments, questions, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me and feel free to ask questions and ask me questions about what I'm going to do and ask further questions. So again, I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this experience with me. I'm glad we got this done. I'm glad we can have this experience. So thank you all. Have a great weekend and a great night. And we will see you all on Monday. And I hope to earn your vote in this election. So thank you very much and have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.